you a happy Valentine's Day. I want to send you love wherever you're at on your journey. I didn't have a scheduled live this week, so I thought I would just like pop on and I'm going to show you what's going on with me. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I'll update you here. But little setback this week. So, full disclosure, one of my New Year's goals is to do more strength training. Being a cancer survivor and having a hysterectomy puts me at higher risk for osteoporosis. And now being in my 40s and having that done, I'm like, I'm going to start doing more strength training so that I can protect my bone health. So just updating you all with my New Year's goal, more strength training. I'm a runner. If you don't know that and you're new here, I am a runner. I ran the New York City Marathon last year. I hadn't ran a marathon in a long time, but I did it. So with my New Year's goal of strength training, I started to do more weights at the gym, and not just do more weights, but kind of like go over to the weight area and start using some equipment I haven't used in a long time. And that was going okay until this week when I took all the weight off of a heavy barbell and decided to try and lift it from under with my non-dominant left hand, and found out that an old fracture from when I was in high school healed incorrectly and compromised that joint, which I should know because it literally is my weak wrist. It's always been a little achy and not as strong if I've ever tried to do anything with barbells at the gym. So trying to lift this barbell from under, are you ready for this? My wrist, my ulna, dislocated, popped out of socket. It was so painful. I almost passed out at my local gym. I turned to a woman next to me and said, I just popped my wrist out and it hurts really bad. She's like, oh my God, that sounds awful. Let me go get somebody. So I had to, go walk over to a stretch table with some personal trainers. Yeah, Lou, no is right. And stop from passing out, have the fire department come and make sure I was okay, which I was not. I was in a lot of pain. This was a really bad dislocation. I have never dislocated anything. I don't recommend dislocating anything like a shoulder, a clavicle, or a wrist. But it went the other direction, like an old-fashioned coin purse, just like that, right? Like pop, like, oh my gosh. My mother-in-law saved the day, came and was with me all day. She transported me instead of an ambulance. Again, free to call the fire department, but probably very expensive to take an ambulance. So I declined that, even though I was in lots of pain. Had her take me to a local franchise of orthopedics, go to one of their instant, and to be told by their PA that 95% of the time, it's not broken, Deborah. 95% of the time, he can pop this back into place. But this was real bad. And he said, you're going to need some conscious sedation. You need to go to the ER. And so I was sent to the ER next to the ortho place I was at. And I had to wait like 5 hours to get a bay, to get an IV, to get Zofran, morphine, and then conscious sedation to have their ER doctor, who was so kind, pop this back into place. What a relief when he finally popped it back into place. Holy moly. Back to ortho the next morning to see one of their hand specialists and to be told the sad news of it needs to stay in this to the elbow cast for 6 weeks, even though it's not broken, to let the joint and cartilage heal so that it doesn't happen again. What a setback. I was training to run one more race before it gets very hot here in Arizona. The Mountain to Fountain race, which is a 15K, so 9 miles. And I ran it before, probably 10 years ago, and I was going to run it with my sisters. So I am after walking today with my husband, I'm deciding I don't think I'm going to do that. He feels I could run. I could probably run 4 miles right now with this, but 9 is like a long way to go with this. Oh my God, So I'm okay accepting what's happened. Here's my point. I want to wish you all love today. And if you're here, you might have been set back in your life. If it's not cancer, it's something else. We've all been there. And the point is to focus on what can you do. I've used this phrase with coaching people. I think it's very valuable because sometimes when I get a relationship with coaching people, which is what I do off of YouTube. Cancer coaching is one thing. I can cancer coach you if you're trying to navigate treatment. That's like a single book session, and we just kind of like figure out where you're at, and I help you kind of, get your questions answered for treatment. But the coaching I love to do is transformation coaching, life coaching, and that's where clients want to thrive again after their diagnosis. And because we're people, we hit bumps in the road sometimes when we're trying to achieve our goals. And the advice I give is accidents happen. The question is, what will you do now? Thank you, Lori. It's always something, isn't it, Lou? And that's the thing. I mean, it might have been cancer at one point, like that was your setback. And it could still be cancer because sometimes it's like, adjusting to hormones and, needed surgeries and lab work comes back, different. I've been there. The question always is, what will you do now? Because if we just stay ruminating on the current, it's super depressing. I mean, I was in so much pain that day. It was awful. The next day, I'll be honest, Wednesday, I was a little depressed. I picked myself up yesterday by going to a women's co-working space to get out of my house. And women energy is like so good. So being in that space and doing a little Galentine's party yesterday filled my cup. And what will I do now? I'll keep moving. I love walking. Y'all know that. I will do modified strength training because that is so possible. I can still do squats and lunges. I can use a resistance band with one arm, whatever. I'll delay my running race. Pretty sure I'm okay with accepting that. And I'll focus on my coaching business, which is where I really thrive. I thrive by now helping other people thrive. It's such a joy. So I don't book a lot of clients there, but I'd love to talk to you if you need help. So any of my links are in the description. If you are currently in treatment and you could benefit from having a chemo checklist, I created that and it's finally like live and available. It's in the description of this. So you click more ... and you'll see everything linked there. My calendar for coaching, my link to a chemo checklist if you need it. It's super valuable. It's what I created for chemo day and what to put in your chemo bag. And it's just very, very valuable. And then link to my Amazon store for products that could help you or a loved one. My goal is to help you, and my goal is now to heal as I get back to strength training. What a setback. I'm so bummed, but life goes on. And in the big picture, this is just a moment in time. So I allowed myself to have my day of being super down, and I'm just gonna get back up because it's not fun staying down. I don't want to stay in that energy. It's not a place that I can help myself, and it's not a place that I can help others, which is where I really like to be. I want to be the best mom, the best wife, and the best coach. So I'm so happy you watched this live. Subscribe. Let's sit down and do a formal live again. I'm going to put on my calendar next week, Thursday, February 20th. Let's do it. Let's go live if you have questions or you want to just feel lifted up and support others on the journey. February 20th will be the next scheduled live for the channel, and there will be more videos to help you. And Midnight Extravaganza says, hello, I'm new to your channel. Welcome. So many resources here. Subscribe for the lives. Go in the descriptions of all the videos to get links to things that can help you today. Lori asks, what time? What time should we do the live? What do you guys like? I can do 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I could do 10 a.m. I think I usually like the 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Let's go at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Thursday, February 20th. So find your time zone, and I will post that in the community. Midnight Extravaganza says, my wife was just diagnosed with breast cancer, so thank you for sharing. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad you mentioned that. I will be totally honest and say a fair amount of my cancer coaching sessions are booked by spouses. Their wives are scared. You came to YouTube for info, and you're like, let's talk to a survivor and get your questions answered. And what a great way to leave a session feeling like you guys have some support and relief. So shout out to all the spouses that are helping their significant other. It's really great. And if your head is spinning, I know I've been there. I relive my story a lot of times because I do a lot of speaking locally. It's scary. It's really, really scary. And the things that helped me were two things. The first thing that helped me was having an example of someone going through it before me. Why am I holding my phone with my left hand? Was having someone go through it before me. And that was my mom. She was a 2-time breast cancer survivor when I was diagnosed at 31, gone through chemo, one of the strongest women I know. And she's now a 3-time survivor. I have an interview with her here on my channel. You can look for that. Have to breathe after that. But having a survivor that's gone before and shown you can get through chemo, you can get through surgery, you can get through radiation, it is so uplifting. So that's what I try to do now for others. The second thing that helped me was having a dream. My dream was to run the Boston Marathon, and the fact that I made that dream happen, then I was diagnosed with cancer, was my guiding light through, and has brought me so much joy and fulfillment to continue having dreams despite having cancer. So at some point, when you're able to get your head from stop spinning, is to help your significant other find their dreams again. That's where I'm at. That's what my coaching is about. It's so good. Last year, I made my dream come true of running the New York City Marathon as a 2-time survivor. I've done my dream of creating a YouTube to connect to people. I want you guys to find your dream. What's your dream? It could be a hobby. It can be a give back. It can just be so simple. But when you kind of like dream again, I feel like you're living your purpose. It creates so much joy to have something to look forward to. It could be literally anything, starting a book club, like learning how to knit, doing your first 5K. It's so cool to have a dream. You deserve to have a dream. Your wife deserves to have a dream at some point on this journey. So that's my message for you. Lou says, happy Valentine's Day, Marina, and lots of healing vibes to you and anyone who needs them right now. Yep, amen to that. Thank you all for being here, and I will see you on February 20th for the next live. And find the video that you need right now on my channel, Chemo, Radiation, Surgery. It's all there. Please go to the playlist. So much love to you all. Have a great love day. Happy healing wherever you are on your journey.